Kericho, Bomet, Nyandarua, Meru, Tharaka Nithi, Embu, Kirinyaga, Nyeri, Murang'a, Kiambu. Initially, we thought of we should have included Nakuru, but Nakuru, because of the Safari Rally, we thought that we can do it together with Kakamega on the 28th of this month. The rest of the counties, about 23 counties, will also have their grassroots elections in April, on 9th of April. There are 5 other counties that did theirs earlier, up to the county level. So basically, by next month, we will have concluded this very, very ambitious but important party exercise. We believe as UDA that the party is stronger if it is strong at the grassroots. When the people who speak on behalf of the party at the local level, at the grassroots, are elected by party members, then you have a strong party. So we are going to continue this exercise, and eventually we'll have more than 500,000 grassroots party officials, and arrangements will be made to ensure that our party leader and the national party office has a face-to-face engagement with all those who will be elected from the grassroots across the country. The over 500,000 that will succeed. We'll have a face-to-face engagement with the party leadership to ensure that we are all in sync and we have information symmetry, so that when someone speaks on behalf of the party at a polling center, 1, they have legitimacy, and number 2, they have information on the party doctrines, manifesto, and they can speak on behalf of the party authoritatively. So we are not just trying to legitimize the party officials through elections. There will be a second phase of empowering party officials at the grassroots to speak on behalf of the party authoritatively about the manifesto, the scorecard of the government, where we've made progress, where we are making progress. That way, the UDA party will be a strong party, as we have always aspired to be. And no other party has tried the kind of exercise we are rolling out across the country. No other party has tried it. The sheer logistics and the strain on the institutional capabilities is quite momentous, but we are up to the task, and we are doing everything possible to make sure that we succeed. So this morning, in those 18 counties, some of them, the elections had been held earlier, but there were gaps. We felt that we needed to repeat in those areas, because in some of the areas where we thought that we needed more aspirants, some of the people who did not register cited various reasons. Some of them, the information had not reached them by the time of the deadline. Others told us they didn't have the 200 shillings for registration. And therefore, we decided to waive those fees to make sure that as many grassroots party members as possible who aspire to be leaders of this party at their polling station level can be able to participate. That's why we are repeating to fill gaps where we felt the elections were not competitive enough because of the choice of candidates. It was not wide enough, mainly because either of information gaps or because of the fees that had been imposed as registration fees. Just to mention, before I give the reports, the progress report of the day, that once we finish on the 9th of April, polling center elections, we will do ward elections, ward level elections in all the 1,450 wards. Again, they will be competitive. The 20 officials that will be elected at the polling station will become delegates to the ward elections. And there also we'll have aspirants, and it's going competitive because the party has decided for the ward elections, those who aspire to lead the party at the ward level will be given a chance to address the delegates before the voting starts, so that they can be able to, the delegates can assess the knowledge of these people on the party, our manifesto, and so forth, so that you don't have people just representing the party whose doctrine they do not understand. So we'll go like that, and then to the constituency level, then to the county level. These elections will culminate in the holding of a National Delegates Congress in Nairobi to now elect the national officials. So it's a very lengthy, laborious, but a very important process that will begin. Having said so, voting began early today, quite well in many parts of the country. Initially, we had reports of a few delays here and there in terms of polling centers opening hours, the availability of gadgets. We had 1 or 2 cases where the gadgets were delayed, or the method used to distribute the gadgets was a bit slow, so we had to deploy faster methods of assessing the polling stations or the polling centers in the shortest time possible. Instead of using vehicles, we use motorbike rides. And so we have corrected, we've mitigated any delays that ought to have, that may have occurred in a few places across the country. And where such delays have been documented, we'll extend the voting time to compensate for the time lost in the morning, so there is no cause of alarm. We also had a few areas which had transport problems because of the ongoing rains. The roads were not very passable, and we have used various ways to mitigate those kind of concerns. Number 3, we had a few areas where we had missing some of the candidates. Their names were missing from the database because of maybe the data submitted was missing certain details and so forth and so on. The party has decided for such cases, and I think there are 1 or 2 places already where a decision has been made, where we have technology challenges of voting digitally or electronically, we will use the manual register. And those are 1 or 2 places where, in consultation with our party members there were challenges, and it is decided other than postponing, we will do manual register as a backup last resort method, which is what also the IBC does when the digital register has gaps. But those are again 1 or 2 places across the country. And therefore, this election is proceeding well. I also want to report that the turnout of the voters is commendable, given that in some parts the weather is not very friendly. We are expecting the last 3 hours or so this afternoon, we will have more people voting. We are very confident that we'll have a fair turnout of voters. Other than that, one of the standout factors of this ongoing exercise is the use of technology. Very fast technology, and it takes a few seconds to vote. It doesn't take long. It's very user-friendly, very efficient, seamless, and the method of relaying results is even faster than even what the IBC system uses. We are going to get results within minutes. And these are electronically submitted results, and there is no intermediary in between. There are no physical forms and all the things that needs to be verified. It's all electronic. So within less than half an hour, maybe an hour at most after the voting closes, we'll be having results from across all the 18 counties. Let me note at this point, unfortunately, at some point during this morning, one of our returning officers got a health challenge, and we lost her. And we want to send our sympathies to the family of our RO for Kamaro Polling Center, Nkomo Ward in Tigania West, Meru County, who collapsed while on duty. And according to the preliminary reports that are coming from the medical people, she got an asthma attack because of the weather, and she lost her life. We want to send our sympathies as a party, and we will support the family because that particular arrow has lost their life while serving our party in this exercise. Other than that sad incident, I think the rest is fairly smooth. And this is a good point for me to report that up to now, we have not recorded any incidents of violence because our party believes in democracy. We have zero tolerance on violence, and we have made it very clear to all the candidates participating and their supporters that anyone who tries to use violent behavior to push forward their interest in this election will receive extremely punitive repercussions from the UDA party. Because we believe democracy is about persuasion and selling your agenda vis-a-vis the agenda of other people. And we are very proud as UDA to note that we have no report of that. We don't expect those kind of reports. And if they arise, the consequences are extremely deterrent. Nobody will try that business anywhere near the UDA in the foreseeable future. I'm saying this because you've seen both in the party primaries and also in the general election, there's a lot of tension and violent behavior, and citizens, instead of exercising their democratic rights, they are fighting each other, hurting each other. We've made it clear that as UDA, we will take very firm, strong, and decisive measures on anyone who directly or indirectly engages in any form of violence, including verbal attacks, psychological attacks, or the use of physical violence to achieve their objectives. So that's where we are up to now, and we are very excited as UDA to oversee what is going on. As I have said, on 28th, Kakamega and Nakuru will follow suit, and the last 23 or so counties will be able to carry out the exercise on 9th of April. Then we go through ward level, constituency level. Those ones are easier because you have less numbers. Just to give you an idea, today we are looking in those 18 counties alone at 9,000 polling centers. So we are talking about 9,000 returning officers, because in every polling center we have a returning officer for that polling center to make sure that the returns are automatic, direct, and there is nothing in between. There is nothing at the constituency, from the polling center to the national, you submit to the national office. So we have 9,000 polling centers, 9,000 returning officers. We are talking about 500,000 candidates who are fighting for 150,000 slots. So it's quite an exercise, and those are just 18 counties. Going forward, you'll have in excess of 1.5 million towards 2 million candidates, but the final number of those who will be elected at that level will be slightly over 500,000. I think 585,000 or thereabout for the whole country. So that's all for now, and once more, thank you very much for getting interested in what is happening in UDA. In case you have any feedback, we are more than willing to receive your feedback. We are an open party. We are not perfect, but we try to perfect our systems. And therefore, even this is a learning process. The next one will be better than this as we proceed to entrench internal democracy in our party, and by extension, external democracy for all parties participating in national politics. That's all for now. Asanteni sana. Tumekuwa na siku nzuri. Wananchi wanaendelea kupiga kura ya kuchagua viongozi katika vituo vya kupiga kura katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. Tuko na vituo zaidi ya 9,000 na tuko na wawaniaji viti 500,000 ambao wanatafuta viti 150,000. Mpaka sasa hatujakuwa na visa vyovyote vya uvunjaji sheria ama matumizi ya nguvu ama vurugu. Na sisi kama chama tunachukulia mambo ya vurugu katika siasa kwa ukali, na tutachukua hatua madhubuti kama kuna mtu yeyote ambaye ataleta fujo ama vurugu katika zoezi hili ambalo ni zoezi la kidemokrasia. Vile vile tumeomboleza kifo cha mmoja wetu ambaye alikuwa anasimamia kituo cha kupiga kura pale Tigania West, ward ya Nkomo, Kamaro Polling Center, ambaye ametuacha, na madaktari wanasema alipatwa na tatizo la asthma, na tunaomba Mungu aweke roho yake mahali peponi, na tutasimama pamoja na familia ya mwenda zake mwenzetu. Tunawahisi wale ambao hawajapiga kura wajitokezee. Tuko na masaa 2-3, na mahali kura ilianza ikiwa imechelewa, vituo vitaendelea kufunguliwa mpaka ule muda ambao ulipotea asubuhi uweze kupatikana masaa ya jioni. Tutakuwa na matokeo kamili chini ya saa 1 baada ya kufungwa kwa upigaji kura, kwa sababu tunatumia mitambo ya kidijitali ya kisasa na ambaye ni rahisi kwa wale ambao wanaitumia, na pia matangazo ama matokeo yatapeperushwa moja kwa moja kutoka vituoni ili tuweze kujua ni kina nani ambao wamechaguliwa. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki, muwe na jioni njema. Thank you. God bless you. Yes, quickly.
You've spoken about your satisfaction on this process. What impact do you think this is going to have in the Mount Kenya region? Number 2, what do you assure your supporters in the Mount Kenya region on the issue of the coalition which is coming up, given we have seen OEM issue their electricity papers, the issue of zoning, the issue of the running with slots? What do you tell your supporters? Thank you.
First of all, I thought I am the Deputy President of Kenya. I don't know why you have reduced this office to one part of Kenya. I thought you would ask me what this means to West Pokot, Trans Nzoia, what this means to other parts of the country. This is a national party. We are present everywhere. And what this means for Kenya is that UDA is going to emerge stronger. UDA will be the only party that will have credible officials elected by members, No other party will try what we are trying. So I don't know, you only compare likes with likes. I don't know why you are comparing UDA, a formidable party with solid structures and national credentials, with some other party formed by someone who has put the registration certificate in his pocket and is dishing out of party positions to his friends, relatives, and cronies. UDA does not play in that league. You can even see from the gentlemen here, this is a national party from Western Kenya, and this is just those who are around here. It was not designed that anybody would be here. Some are in the field. So that question, Apollo, is misplaced. It's very misplaced, but because you are a good man, that's why I've tried to answer it anyhow, in one way or the other. You can't compare UDA with the village parties, personal parties, with no systems, with no procedures, and I dare any of the other parties to try what we are doing nationally. They can't even attempt. So that's where we are, and this is the party to watch, not just in Mount Kenya, in the whole country, from coast to northeastern, from Nyanza to Central to Rift Valley. This is the party of the present and the future. And I'm very proud to be a deputy party leader of this great party. Any other?
My name is Kithure from Kithure. You said after this practice, you are going to do another election in the 1 year.
Correct.
So you said there will be 20 candidates for each of the
No, 20 delegates, 20 per polling center. If a ward, for example, has 20 polling centers, in one ward, if there are 20 polling centers, from each polling center, there will be 20 delegates, the ones that are being elected today. So they will converge at the ward level, 400 delegates. They are the ones who now will elect the leaders at the Ward Delegates Congress. They will form what is known as the Ward Delegate Congress, which will now elect the executive committee for the ward. One more, Apollo again. Ama the other question imezama. Ile ingine yako imezama. Yes. Oh yeah, you asked very many things. You know, now we are discussing party primaries. Why don't you wait? We are going there. Running mate issues are coming next year around this time. There is no hurry. There is no emergency, my friend. We now want to strengthen the party, and we are very systematic people. We go step by step. Even what you're asking about zoning, you know, sometimes parties agree on a friendly basis, which party fields candidates this way or the other place. This is not the time for that. Next year around this time round, we can discuss zoning and the running mate issues. I'm sure among all the things you have said, that is what you wanted me to respond to. The problem is that it's a bit early. Goja tu tufike hapo. I will answer that question very, very clearly. So, nawashukuru sana, ni fire si fire? Fire! So, UDA ni fire si fire? Fire! So, nawashukuru sana. So, SG, you're the custodian of this facility, so I hope you'll give them time to debrief. So before they go, isn't it? Yeah. And then from my office, where is Franklin? Franklin is there, is one of you. Where is Frank? Frank is there. Make sure they need space to file something. We are not in a hurry. Why are you people? No, you know, sometimes, you know, honestly, you know, sometimes the organizations, when the pressure is over, they ask you to leave. But sometimes you need time to file the story, isn't it? So, so UDA, there is free Wi-Fi here. Take your time and leave at your pleasure. And we will make sure there is a responsible person here, Franklin Wambogo, who is didn't understand each other. Asanteni sana. God bless you. Have a good afternoon. Thank you.